Hey everybody, welcome back to our kitchen. First things first, if you're here watching along, let us know in the comments. We'd love to know and give you a shout out. Second thing, today I am making homemade blueberry scones, and Caitlin's not here because it's a surprise. First time I made blueberry scones for her was getting ready for work, and she came downstairs and saw the scones and she was so amazed and she really liked them. So I try to make those from time to time. And today we're drinking a cold brew coffee from Barrett's Coffee Roasters. Here in our neighborhood, we get a growler once a week, and we'll either drink it straight up or we'll add a little bit of cream. And pro tip as well, take cold coffee, pour it into some ice cube trays and freeze it, and use those ice cubes in your cold brew or iced coffee, and it doesn't dilute it. It's really good. Now, I'm really excited to share with you my recipe for blueberry scones, so come on and join along. I want to point out I'm drinking out of my 2019 winner glass. I won the Prairie Dog 10K in Arvada, Colorado about a year ago, and that was the winner's prize, and I'm pretty proud of it. So I'm gonna take a sip and talk to you about the ingredients that are going into our blueberry scones today. So we're starting with our dry ingredients. We have 2 cups of flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar. A lot of recipes call for more sugar, but it doesn't need it. 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of butter, and then a tablespoon of reserved melted butter, 1 egg at room temperature, 1/3 cup of milk. You can use whole milk, skim milk, almond milk, half and half. If it's any kind of dairy or non-dairy milk, you get the picture. You are certainly welcome to use it. And then 1 cup of blueberries, little less, little more to your preference, or you can use other berries if you want, but we like blueberries in this house. So those are the ingredients. Now let's get to cooking. We start by combining all of the dry ingredients. Like I said, we've got the flour. We're gonna add our sugar, our baking powder, just a little bit of salt, and give that just a loose stir. And the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take 2 tablespoons of butter. Not quite completely soft, but you do want to be able to work with it. Now, it calls for using a pastry cutter to work the butter into the dry mix. I don't have a pastry cutter, so I improvise. If you want, you can prick it apart with your fingers if you don't have a pastry cutter, or I like to just use a fork and kind of work it around and get it mixed up. I am not a baker, folks, as you can tell, and so please don't cringe. But as I always like to say, the main thing is how it comes out tasting. But these nice bits of butter are gonna work into your dough, and then when this goes to baking, it's gonna give a lot of delicious buttery flavor in the scone. I probably prepare this differently every time also. They still turn out pretty good. And again, they pair very well with coffee, cold brew, iced coffee, or no beverage at all. And it's a great treat to go with your breakfast, or a snack during the day, or dessert at night. So we're gonna work that in, do a little fork mash. So the dry ingredients are prepared. The next step is combining the wet ingredients, which is simply just pouring your milk in with your room temperature egg and giving that a little whisk. This yolk is a little bit resistant. Now you have your wet ingredients prepared, and we're going to combine it with the flour, sugar, salt, baking powder mixture. And the key is you don't want it to be too wet, but you do want to be able to work with it and form a nice dough ball. So this is where you get your hands in there and work it around. And it's already starting to combine nicely. Now, it takes a little bit of effort. It's not gonna form a perfectly moist ball, and that's the point. You don't want it to be too wet. You want it to be a little crumbly and flaky, just like you want your scone to have that nice flaky goodness. And don't forget those butter chunks worked in the dough. So as you can see, we're starting to be able to form a ball with the dough. There's still some excess dry, but I just press into the bottom of the bowl and let it adhere to your existing dough ball. It may seem, and you may be tempted to add extra liquid, but don't do that. Okay, so we've worked that into a dough ball, and the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put this out on the clean counter, roll it out, add our blueberries, and keep making magic. You wanna have a lightly floured surface to work this dough out on. I cleaned this countertop very thoroughly, and it's a nice, flat, clean surface. And keep some extra flour on hand, as you might want that, or need that as you roll the dough out. So, we just take our ball and flatten it out a little bit. And now, I'm gonna put some blueberries in there. About a cup, more or less. Sometimes you lose some. Now, if you can, work it back into a circle and then spread it with your fingertips, and then get the rolling pin and put some flour on there. Don't want to lose that guy. And roll this out. You want to have about an inch thick. Of course, you're going to smash some blueberries. Who doesn't like a good blueberry smash? And for good measure, I'm going to add some more. And just press them into the top of the dough. Make sure you cover it. Get all the berry goodness. There we have our dough that is prepared with blueberries in the dough and pressed on top. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna portion this out. We're just gonna cut it like a pizza. And you just cut halfway down the middle. And then halfway the other way. And then each quarter in halves. And they're not perfect, but they're delicious. So next thing we're gonna do is prep these to go on the baking sheet and into the oven. Our dough is prepared and ready to go into the oven. I like to use a spatula to get these off the prepared surface. And may need a little assist. We're gonna place these on a greased cookie sheet, baking sheet. Make sure to leave plenty of room. Like I said, I am not a baker, but these do turn out tasting really good. They may not look impressive, not gonna win any awards for that, but they will make Caitlin very happy. I also have melted a tablespoon of butter, and I'm gonna give these a little baste to help bring out some nice color as it bakes in the oven. Now you've got your oven at 375. Should be able to bake these for 15 to 17 minutes until golden brown on top. If you do prepare these and roll them out at about an inch thick or a half inch thick, that should be plenty of time, but just keep an eye on them. All right, they're all basted and they're all loaded with blueberries. And they are ready to get cooking. Here we go, into the oven. Top rack at 375 for 15 to 17 minutes. Of course, your time may vary depending on your oven and altitude. Time to bring the blueberry scones out of the oven. They've been in about 17 minutes. I wanted to get them a little more golden brown on top, but look at these. Oh my goodness, loaded with blueberries, golden brown, and a perfect texture. So we're gonna pull these and we are going to let them cool on a wire rack because you don't want the underside to get hard and crunchy. You want them to be nice and flaky, soft in the middle, loaded with blueberry flavor. Someone is going to be really surprised when she makes her way into the kitchen here shortly. The scones are cooled and Caitlin is making her way down to check out the scones and give us the official word of if they're good or not.
Oh my gosh, I could smell these coming down the stairs and they smelled amazing. I'm so excited.
All right, well, you are the official taste tester, and because I've drank most of the cold brew, I'm gonna top us off here.
Yeah, please do. All right.
Pick your scone.
I'm gonna go with this guy right here. Oh,
Honest
goodness.
opinion, let them know.
All those blueberries in there.
Is it good? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna try one too.
It's got a nice crunch on the outside. It's really soft. Get a buttery hit in the middle. All these blueberries, look at them. It's loaded.
And very little sugar. 2 tablespoons of sugar. You'll see recipes that call for twice or triple the amount of sugar. They don't need it. Let the berries, let the fruit really talk about how much sugar there is and let that be the flavor. I'm gonna have a sip.
Man, she's gonna have another sip. I'm gonna have another bite.
And you can have a sip of cold brew also.
Yeah.
It's great to chase it with. Well, these are our blueberry scones. Thank you for joining us. Give it a try. Let us know how they turn out. And with love from our kitchen to yours, as always, thanks for watching.
Thank you.